Dr. Joshua Plant, I'm going to pass it straight on over to you.
Hey, thanks so much, Bianca. This is great. And hello, everybody coming to you live. This is a lot of fun. And I'm excited to talk about my favorite thing there is, science, and specifically around health. And a lot of you are taking the day-night drops, and you're seeing these tremendous results. And as all great individuals are looking and wondering, how does this work? Why am I seeing these results? And believe it or not, it is incredibly revolutionary, but also exceptionally simple. And so I'm grateful for you guys to dive in on these body balance challenge because it really stems to this. And I'm going to kind of pose a little bit of a question, and just to get the mind thinking, a little bit of warm up, so to speak, before we begin this workout of understanding the mechanism of the drops. And so if somebody is 50 pounds overweight, you'd say, okay, why are they overweight? And more often than not, you'd say, hey, they're eating too much. There are too many calories and they're not burning enough calories. They have a calorie surplus, which then the extra calories our body stores as fat. It's true. Then you say, okay, why are they eating too much? You can say, okay, the food is engineered to be more appealing, but why is it some people respond more than others? What is going on? Why are they eating more when other people are able to resist it? And when you get down and you keep asking why, you'll eventually come to what I believe to be the root of a lot of the health challenges we're facing today: stress. Now, stress, it is something that has almost come ubiquitous with the undertone feeling that we all have. And just to kind of show you in today's world of how much stress has impacted us, I just want you to do a little thought experiment of an individual. You're sitting down, it's 9 o'clock at night, and the phone rings. Is anxiety, is panic the first emotions that come to your mind? You usually aren't excited to see who's calling you. What that means is we are always on edge. We have now been in a situation where we always are programmed to think the worst. And because of that, we are living in a position of heightened stress. Now, stress causes a variety of different problems. One, when you are of high stress, what happens is you seek out what would almost be kind of a dopamine hit to help you over or to numb that stress feeling. This manifests itself with an increased appetite, specifically with respect to comfort foods, right? This is why individuals are, I just need that chocolate bar. I just need these things. What your body is doing is in this high stress situation, it's looking just as like a drug to numb this stress situation that we are constantly under. Now, in addition to this, you'll also find that your body, to make that stress hormone, which a lot of us know as cortisol, the precursor to that cortisol, pregnenolone, is also the precursor to either testosterone or estrogen. And so if we are in a state where we're making constant cortisol because we are in this high stress situation, we aren't making any estrogen or testosterone. The precursor is being all used up for cortisol. This is why we are seeing lower testosterone in men, and why perimenopause and menopause symptoms are so much difficult for women nowadays, is the precursors to our sex hormones are being used up to respond to the amount of stress that we're in, making cortisol. It's the same reason, ironically, that certain animals don't mate in captivity. Is because they're under such stress that they're not making those sex hormones. So what has happened is in today's world, whether it be the social media, the phones, the emails, constantly, everything coming at us from every which way, we are under a level of stress that has never been seen before. And I believe in supplementation is a way in which we supplement to help our body respond to the very advancing world that moves much quicker than we do. 30 years ago, we weren't sitting in front of screens 8 hours a day, and so we have to supplement our inactivity by going to the gym. Additionally, in today's world, we are experiencing an immense amount of microstressors we've never experienced before, so we need to supplement to help us better respond to those stresses. And that's the drops, the day-night drops. As simple as that. It doesn't take the stress away from your life. I still have 4 kids every time I take the drops. But what it does is it helps my body better respond to those stressors. Taking it before each meal specifically allows me to better respond to those stresses before that most vulnerable moment of when we begin to put food into our mouth. Taking the night drops before I go to bed allows me to maximize that sleep. But just like alcohol, stress also impacts the quality of your sleep, allowing you to maximize the benefit of those critical 8 hours every night. And so those day-night drops at the end of the day get to the root of what a lot of us are dealing with: stress, changes in our hormones, impacts our memory, impacts our attitude, impacts our weight, it impacts our skin, impacts the rate at which we age. The list goes on and on. And so Partner Co is the first of its kind to actually address the root of a lot of our problems. And I'm so excited for you guys to commit for these 28 days and see the power that's coming with that.
Well, thanks so much. So as I'm like making notes over here, Dr. Yeah. Okay, so as you're chatting, you're talking like a lot about stress, and I think we can all relate. There is like stress in everyday life. So what I really got from that is that our drops are going to help tremendously in this area. Would you say, because I think sometimes, you know, we have heard, and sometimes we hear, okay, like I'm sort of eating the right thing, or I'm trying at least to eat really balanced and eat really well. I've got like a beautiful rainbow of colors on my plate. I'm finding time to work out. If we are doing those things right, so we're eating really well and we're exercising, but we are in a bit of a heightened state of stress and we're not sleeping, essentially you're saying that will impact our results.
Oh, absolutely, right? So stress not only impacts and helps, you know, it makes us more likely to eat unhealthy, right, if we're under high stress. But if we overcome that, we exercise greater willpower, we're still eating healthy. It also impacts the rate at which our metabolism is working. And so those are a big things that we're doing. And so by helping to lower that stress, not only are we making it easier to eat healthier, we're making it easier to also see those results when you are eating well.
Okay, love it. Great. Well, that is motivation enough, I would say, to make sure you're taking your drops absolutely before each and every single meal and your night drops before you go to bed. Now, we did get one question which said, we typically recommend, and I think we is not necessarily partner co, but perhaps, universal we recommend at least 90 days on the drops to really see results. But is it okay to stay on them long term? I never want to be without them, was the quote.
100%. Yes, I absolutely agree. And that 90 days is critical, right? Because this isn't some drug that's numbing you to stress. That's not what it is. It takes a while to calibrate that nervous system, right? Our body is meant to evolve and to adapt. And so to help us better respond to stress, it's not something that happens immediately. It's like going to the gym. It takes time to build up muscle. And the same holds true with our nervous system. That's why we strongly encourage 90 days. It really helps our body better acclimate to it and to start to normalize those things. And right, life is meant to be enjoyed. And it's a beautiful thing how much more vibrant the colors are when you start to remove the impact stress has on your life. Life moves a little slower, and that's a good thing. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Amazing. Now, in terms of just, best way, most compliant way to take the product before meals, 20 minutes before meals, 30 minutes before meals, just before we eat, does it really matter?
No, so I usually want to say about 20 minutes before each meal. And the reason is because the product is helping you do one thing, but it's not an end all be all, right? It takes a while to incorporate into your system. And additionally, it has what's called a fairly short half-life. So our body metabolizes it pretty quick. That's why we do it before each meal. But I also look at those 20 minutes before the meal as very important. The drops are great, but use those 20 minutes to do things that also help to lower the stress. Meditate, right? Write in a gratitude journal. Put on some of your favorite music. Use those 20 minutes as like your favorite times to establish whatever meditative practices you have. And now what you've done is for the 30 minutes, or excuse me, for 20 minutes 3 times a day, what you've just done is you have dedicated an hour to making sure you are the most you. Because what stress does, the real sad thing that what stress does is it takes away our personality, is it robs us out of being reactionary, and it causes us it causes us just to act out of reflexes and not out of responding. We react and we don't respond. And so the beautiful thing is when we start to remove that stress out of our lives, we start to respond to our environment. We just don't react to it. And when you respond, it's coming with your own personality. It's coming with your own humor, your own traits. And that's what the world needs more than anything right now, is just a whole bunch of people to relax and start enjoying life again.
Can I tell you something very funny / a little bit embarrassing?
Yeah.
I went for my morning walk this morning, everybody, because we have to start the day with intention. We've got to get our steps in. So I had my headphones in, I've got my music on, I'm walking along, having a great old time. And then I got back to my apartment, I'm in the lift, literally doing like a little bit of a mini boogie in the lift. And as I walk out of the lift, kind of dancing my way out, my neighbor walked into me, and I just had this moment where I was like, I just got caught dancing in the lift.
Oh, look, you know what? This is the start of a beautiful romantic comedy, Bianca. It's like, how did the two of you meet? I was dancing in a lift and bumped into my neighbor. That's wonderful. That's the way it should be.
At least I'm happy getting my steps in, probably making
do not be embarrassed of that. We need more of those moments in life. I'm hoping, I bump into somebody bumps into me. And that is a great time. I'm happy for you.
Oh, thanks so much. Now we have a question. Can you explain the science behind the blend of adaptogenic ingredients in the drops?
Yeah, so adaptogens are very unique. They work through a variety of different pathways. And so we use a variety of different adaptogens. And this is both in the day and night drops, as well as, like, for example, in the US drops. They're different adaptogens, but they work through the same mechanism, right? It's like how can you get vitamin C? Here in America, we're giving you an orange, and then over in Canada and Australia, we're giving you a grapefruit. Both contain vitamin C. It's the same mechanism that is delivering that. And in that approach, it's a very complicated biochemical pathway. And to be honest, we really don't understand the full mechanism by which adaptogens work. We just know we can measure the impact because it's your parasympathetic and your sympathetic pathway is when adaptogens help those become more balanced. In the absence of adaptogens under the same stresses, you get higher swings of your parasympathetic and sympathetic pathways. What those are your rest and digest or our fight and flight. And so by having those balanced, it allows us to be, as I said before, more responsive rather than reactionary. And it gives us that ability to start to use what this part of the brain, this part in the front, that prefrontal cortex, where you think and your creativity, your humor, your personality lives. And not necessarily that amygdala, which is called the lizard brain, that part that's just all, the world's coming to an end and you're always on edge, skittish. And so that's the real power behind it, is it allows that parasympathetic and sympathetic area to become balanced. And you can actually measure that. You can measure through electromagnetic components that nervous system and how it's responding.
Amazing. Well, I think that is a great place to end. Thank you so much. We have had a couple of questions like, if I miss the 20-minute window, is that going to be a problem? Or if I take it like too far before that, is it going to be a problem? I think maybe just, very quickly, is it better to just get?
So I would say you want to find the ability, because really the power lives in the routine. That's how our body begins to normalize it. It gives us that consistency. So taking it, if it's 10 minutes or if it's 20 minutes, find that time that works for you. And then be careful not to deviate from that, because that routine becomes very important. And what happens is your body then establishes this, okay, drops. I then take the meditative practice. I then have dinner. You're much more present. Now, I will say, especially individuals with families, have everybody doing it together. Like our dinner time, the conversations have gone through the roof. There's not phones present. We're laughing. We're having great conversations. And it is where everyone kind of has those 15 minutes before the meal. We take the drops. We are doing our own kind of meditative things to be present. And now we're enjoying a meal together. And it's not just a meal of nourishment. All of a sudden, like there's incredible bonding that's happening because we're all responding. We're just not reactionary. And it is a beautiful thing. And so the reason I love the drop so much is it's not only allowing us to be more present in this very complicated world, it also allows us to be more present in the relationships we have or the potential relationships by us dancing and bumping into somebody out of the lift. And so that's the real power.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Heaps of comments of thanks as well. And for all of you who are watching either live or perhaps catching the replay, keep it going. Absolutely keep taking your drops, keep taking your products, keep eating with and in compliance to our approved foods list. Keep it going. We absolutely love everything that's happening during this 28 days on our body balance challenge. And just a little reminder that today is our weigh-in day for week 1 results. So make sure that you get your results in via that Google link. We have submitted that. It's all available for you. Results need to be in by 5 p.m. today. But keep it going. We're loving it. Thank you so much again, Dr. Joshua Flatt. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining.
Thank you.
Very, very soon.